15 years. 15 years of Death Battle. Who would have guessed they would have made it this far? And this season, it had its ups and it had its downs. So, fuck it. Let's talk about my favorite episodes of this season. Okay, so let's get over some rules when it comes to this. Number one, I'm splitting this up into two different parts because why the hell not? Number two, this is in my opinion. Please respect my opinion. Number three, I'm talking about the death battles that happened 2024 and 2025. Yep, I am ranking the 16 episodes that happened. With that being said, that time of the week again. I'm trying to cut off drinking, go sue me. Alright, kicking off the number 16 spot, it's time for one of my big unpopular opinions. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is gonna give me some heat, but oh well. I'm gonna come out and say it. The Fall Guys episode. Yeah, like, this wouldn't be so bad, except I couldn't find that much to really like about this episode. I'm not acting like it's the worst thing ever or anything, because it does have its moments here and there, but I really just didn't care about it that much to put it any higher than literally the bottom. Maybe it's because it's a dead meme from this point and I really didn't care about either franchise at all, but I just gotta put the Fall Guys episode at the bottom. I could not find myself rocking with this. I'm sorry, but it's definitely going to be at the bottom here. Number 15, Kratos versus Ashura. Man, did this episode drive me up a wall. Yeah, to the surprise of no one, I don't like this episode. Not at all. I don't know. Maybe it's because I played both of these games. Maybe it's because I know how the power system works when it comes to both of these series. And yeah, I just don't agree with it. I am still laughing at the fact that they treated Chakravartin like he was nothing. Even though, for God's sake, he was one of the most broken characters in the series. And they're saying that Kratos can easily handle Chakravartin? Yeah, don't make me laugh there. Do not make me laugh. Even then, the animation really wasn't that good. The music, it was alright, I guess, but this was just not one of those good episodes in my personal opinion. Number 14, Ghost Rider versus Spawn. Salt, anybody? Yeah, believe it or not, people have been ripping my ass when it comes to this fight in particular, and I'm like, it does not make any fucking sense to me. Maybe it's because I grew up with Spawn, I grew up with Ghost Rider, and I do not agree with the results when it comes to this. And the stupid part is, everything else about this episode, it was fire. The thing that's driving me nuts personally is the fact that they got the wrong verdict. I'm still laughing at that incapable of killing Spawn. I'm still laughing at that because Spawn still has regret. It will work on him. I don't care what anybody says. Spawn still has regret. The penance there will still work on him. And before people say, oh, what about the Punisher? It didn't work on him. Buddy, he doesn't care anymore, so of course it won't work on him. It did have a really good music track though. Like, it was great. I loved Hell's Angels. But yeah, I'm sorry. I did not like this one. at all. Alright, so when it comes to number 13 on this list, I can just say, yay! The Dragon Ball fans aren't going to come out and kill me this time. Yeah, it's Bardock versus Omni-Man. Yet again, another episode I do not agree with. Yeah, if you guys know my activity when it comes to this website, you'll know that I'm not going to be one of those people that thinks that Dragon Ball Solo's all a fiction or anything like that. However, when it comes to this episode in particular, I gotta agree with the Dragon Ball fanbase when it comes to it. You see, here's the thing when it comes to my logic, when it comes to what they said. If they were just saying, okay, we're giving Bardock just Ozaru and having him fight Omni-Man like that, that might be one thing, because all Nolan has to do is get rid of the tail. Whether or not you guys think he'll be smart enough to figure that out, I'll leave up to you guys. However, when it comes to this, they were giving him Super Saiyan, and I'm like, yeah, no, Bardock should have won this one. And their logic to why Super Saiyan wouldn't be that effective towards Omni-Man is he doesn't have that much experience with Super Saiyan. What? Which, yeah, obviously, but so didn't Goku when he was fighting Frieza on Namek, but he was still dog walking Frieza like no tomorrow. Cause, like I said before, everything else about this episode, it was great. I love the animation, I love the voice acting, I love the music. Did not like the results. That's why it's so low on this list. When it comes to my number 12 spot, fair warning, I'm not going to make a lot of friends when it comes to this. I'm really not going to make a lot of friends when it comes to this. Alright, 3, 2, 1. Blade versus Buffy. Yeah, I don't like this episode. I'm sorry. Alright, before you guys hate me for this, let me explain. Do I think that this is the worst episode ever? No, it's not. Do I agree with the results? They kind of made sense. I get that, but at the same time, I kind of find it to be a little overrated. Although I do get where people are coming from when they say that this is their favorite live action fight. Me personally, I kind of like the Red Hood versus the Winter Soldier fight more. That's just a personal thing for me, and I'm not going to fault you guys for liking it, but I don't know. I just found this a little overrated. Although I am surprised that we didn't get Darman narration when it came to this episode. You knew that joke was coming, and I don't regret anything. Number 11. Joker versus Giorno. Yeah, I kind of still stand by my point where I say that this is my favorite Persona and JoJo fight that they did. But at the same time, man, the other episodes were just so much better. I still agree with the results. They were still good. I still liked the animation. It was fine. But at the same time, the other episodes, I don't know. I just kind of liked a whole lot better. Like, I don't want to say that this episode was the worst thing ever, because it really wasn't. But at the same time, everything else that happened, it was just so much better. From the writing, to the animation, to the voice acting, and it's not like I hated this episode. Far from it. There are just episodes that I liked a whole lot more than this. That's the only thing, and that's it. Number 10, Dante versus Clive. Now, this also falls into the category of it's kind of overhyped, but at the same time, I kind of liked it, so that's something. No, I'm not salty because my goat actually lost this fight. Maybe I am a little salty. Fuck you.
But hey, I kind of understood where they were coming from. It just depends on how you incorporate the last DMC game, honestly. But at least when it comes to this episode here, I can at least get some entertainment out of it. I liked how it was animated, I liked the music. I just liked it. I just don't think that it's perfect, is all. Little bit of fair warning, I go back and forth between these next two episodes. So take of that what you will. With that being said, number 9, Tom versus Wily. They really did not disappoint with this episode here, and I just love it because it's just funny in general. It had classic Looney Tunes gags, it had classic Tom and Jerry gags, which I'm just a fan of both these two in general, so take for that of what you will. Also, I'm kind of surprised that one of these bastards actually died. Usually they don't kill off Toon-like characters like this, but hey, wouldn't be say that I'm all pro it. Alright, coming in at the number 8 spot is my boy, the Jolly Green Giant himself, Hulk, and Godzilla. Yeah, a lot of people were really divided when it comes to this episode in particular, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of get where everyone's coming from. Yes, I get it. A lot of people think that I'm biased because Hulk is one of my all-time favorite Marvel characters. Go sue me, blah blah blah. But at the same time, I'm not gonna act like I don't get where the Godzilla fans are coming from when it comes to this fight. Because there are still arguments when it comes to this fight. But after hearing what they had to say about both characters, yeah, I'm still with them on this because I do get that the Hulk has better hacks and he possibly has a way how to get by Godzilla's bullshit, but I'll leave that up to you guys in comments. But in general, this was still a really good fight in general. Devil Artemis, he did his damn job. Praise the Artemis there. I liked how they incorporated both Bruce Banner and the Hulk in this fight, which is the first time that it ever actually happened in Death Battle. This, in general, was just a really good fight. I don't think I would put it up there with all my favorites, but this is still a really good fight that I'd really come back to in all honesty. Also, I'm just happy that Hulk finally won a fight, and I gotta put him this high at the very least because of that. Little bit of a fun fact about my number 7 spot. I usually don't show Death Battle episodes to my family or anything like that unless it's a pretty big occasion and it's a fight that, in general, I think that they would enjoy. For example, I wanted to show my niece Harley Quinn vs. Jinx because, well, she's a pretty big Harley Quinn fan. And when it comes to this episode, I just had to show my brother it because, to be perfectly honest, all my brothers actually grew up with this game series. Yes. I'm pretty sure a lot of people were expecting this to be so much higher, but I'm sorry. Master Chief vs. Doomslayer, it's only at number 7. And you know what? I get that, because this episode, it was just overall awesome, and I really could not find any other reason to put it any lower than this. And that's mostly because I just love the Halo series in general. That being said, when it comes to this episode, no. Like, Doomslayer, he's just destroying John over here. Yeah, everyone knows that Doomslayer got a huge ass upscaling when it came to this fight, and yeah, there was no way that Master Chief over here was going to be winning this fight, period, and I wouldn't be lying if I didn't say I was down for seeing this fight in general. And by God, it did not disappoint. Like, I loved how this was animated. I loved the voice acting. It was all really good. And that death, whew, that was easily one of the best deaths in the season. I freaking love that. It made you feel like it was a heavy metal cover, and it did not disappoint. I guess if I really had to pick one of the big downfalls, which kind of makes it at the number 7 spot, the music was just okay. Like, don't get me wrong, Halo to Hell, it's a good listen to, but it's not something I would listen to repeatedly, in all honesty, and really that's more nitpicking, but it's nitpicking that puts it this low on the list. Not saying that it's bad, but I do feel like number 7 is a good spot for it. Yep, it's time to talk about the My Hero episodes. Because in all honesty, they were both really good this season, and I really had to think about which one I had to put at the bottom. This was tough. And I really do mean this was tough, because I went back and forth between these two, but I had to knock one of them out of my top 5. With that being said, the episode that I picked, it's Mahito versus Shigaraki. I am sorry, I know it's a great episode and I love it, but God, I just really had to pick one of them to get out of my top 5. And I'm not saying that it's a bad episode. It's the exact opposite of a bad episode. Tom Selleck Shigaraki, perfect. 10 out of 10. Subaru fucking Natsuki as Mahito. That just sounds perfect. I love that idea. The animation. I loved how this was animated. Skin deep. I love this track. It is one of my favorite tracks of the season. It is just overall great. The stuff that they were able to do in this episode. I freaking love this concept alone. The only reason I am putting it this low on the list and why I'm knocking it out of my top 5 is because the other episodes were just so much better. I hate to do this to one of my all-time favorite My Hero Academia characters. I really do. But the others are just that good. Not only are they that good, they are peak. But by no means am I saying that this episode is bad. Far from it. The other episodes, they are just so much better. I freaking love these episodes. Number 5, Miles Morales versus Izuku Midoriya, aka Deku. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people were expecting this to be somewhere on my list, because obviously. Yeah, like I said, I usually go back and forth between this episode and Mahito versus Shigaraki. But could you really blame me? Both these episodes are just really good. Both of them animated by Moro, but not his best work. Don't worry, we'll get to that. This having one of my favorite My Hero Academia characters and one of my favorite Spider-Mans going at it one-on-one. Having just an overall great track. I just love this episode, and I was really thinking if it deserves this spot or the number 6 spot. But after really thinking about it, I do feel like it deserves the number 5 spot for one reason, and one reason only. The street tier memes. Oh, come on. How can you not laugh at these things? I mean, come on. Ever since the manga ended, he was blasted like no tomorrow thanks to these memes. And I can't help it. I laughed my ass off when it came to these. I can't help it. They were funny. Hell, this shit got so funny, even I threw my hat into the ring. Pause if you want to read it. Sorry, I got a little bit off topic there. Next entry. Let's go to the next entry. Number 4. Maka versus Ruby. Yeah, if you guys know my feelings on Soul Eater, you pretty much understand the fact that I was really looking forward to this episode. And, did it not disappoint? The animation. Fucking loved it. 10 out of 10. Devil Artemis, you done your work again, mate. The voice acting. Maka alone is so goddamn good. And you know that they're really trying when they get Ruby's original voice actress to literally come back to voice her. The music. Casey Lee Williams. Do I even need to say anything else? You know they're putting in all the effort that they can when they're getting the original singer of the original Ruby opening. This deserves all the praise it can because it is that good. They wanted to go all out with episode 200, and my god, they did it. And of course, they did not disappoint. Get your hate mail ready? No, I'm serious. Get it ready. I'm not gonna make a lot of friends with this next one. Y'all ready? 3, 2, 1. Yes, I know. A lot of people were thinking that this was gonna be my number 1. But after rewatching the episodes, I really can't. It's still a great episode. Highly requested. 10 out of 10. I freaking love this episode. Everything about this episode in particular, it just makes you feel like you're ready for a great episode in general. The very moment you hear Eggman say, "I come to make an announcement," you're ready for an entire war. 2 armies going straight at each other. The Koopa Army, the Eggman Empire. And, obvious is obvious, Moro didn't hold back. Goddamn, did he not cook with this goddamn episode. It was crispy. The music, Game Over. Freaking loved it. Who doesn't love Game Over? It perfectly fits these two to a T. Aside from the results, which, yes, I get it, a lot of people can debate whether or not Eggman wins or not. I'm not faulting you on that part. But I'm willing to give this one an exception because everything else about this episode was too perfect. I freaking love this episode. 10 out of 10. And there are just 2 episodes that I feel like can top this. Case in point, Kyle Rayner versus Simone the Digger. Yeah, for the longest time, I was really looking forward to seeing this episode get animated. And I don't think you guys can really blame me on this. Gurren Lagann, one of my all-time favorite animes of all time. The Lantern Corps, one of my favorite concepts of all of DC. And I don't think anybody can really blame me on this because, was this not a badass episode? The animation, peakness at its finest. The voice acting, almost spot on for the both of these guys. The limits that they went through when it came to this episode. They pushed past the limits that we wanted, and they went even further beyond them. That ending where Simone
gets a Green Lantern ring after beating Kyle. Oh my god, I want that concept to be made. Mangaka of Gurren Lagann, make that happen. I love that idea. It's badass. It's awesome. So, with that being said, what can easily be my number one? Or, better yet, just who the hell can be my number one pick? Is anybody really surprised? No one's surprised because this episode, I was expecting it to be in my top 5. I was not expecting it to be my number one, but I tried, you know. Lord knows I've tried. I can't find anything to really nitpick about this episode. It's just that good. Ash versus Yugi is what a finale should be. It should be epic. Alyssa Lockhart as Ash Ketchum. How is that not perfect? She was giving me Veronica Taylor vibes. Tom Selleck as Ash. I get it. A lot of people wanted to see Lil Karibo in this. But don't act like you guys couldn't hear Dan Green coming out of Yugimoto here. The animation. Best part of the entire episode, and it's the best 3D fight of the season. The music. They got Jason Page, the original singer of the Pokemon theme, to be singing this. Like, shut up and take my money. If I feel like I'm praising this episode too much, I don't think I'm praising this episode enough. I just love how this came out. It was a 10 out of 10 episode. I could not find anything that I really hated about this episode. They went all out when it came to this episode, and I'm absolutely satisfied. I cannot put it any lower than my number one. So, that was my rankings for the death battles of 2024 and 2025. Like I said before, it did have its ups and it did have its downs. But the ups really did show off that they are more than ready to be independent. They did all they could when it came to this season, and they did really good in my personal opinion. So, with that being said, what's next for 2026 when it comes to Death Battle? Who knows? But until then, I'm Tori Green. Thanks for watching.